Welcome, Peter Englehardt. Peter Englehardt will be speaking at the Holistic Business Hub's first birthday party. Now, Peter works directly with entrepreneurs and business creators who want to transform their businesses into industry-leading brands. He is considered a leading expert in applying strategic thinking and accelerate brand establishment and growth. Peter and his team have also developed the world's only interactive eTool, Plan to Brand, designed to make it easier for business owners to understand brand strategy. It guides users through the process of crafting a meaningful strategic roadmap. Peter is an international speaker. He's the author of Differentiate to Dominate, and he blogs regularly on brand, design, and strategic thinking. At the Holistic Business Hub's first birthday party, Peter will be speaking to us on how to find your point of difference and start building a meaningful brand. Welcome, Peter Englehardt.
Hello. Thanks, Anna.
Lovely to have you here for this chat. Now, I have a quick question for you, or question number one, really. What problems do you find that your clients face before they come to you?
Look, it's very simple, really. They can't answer the simple question of why someone should buy from them and not their competitors. They basically don't have or haven't thought through their strategic positioning, 101 marketing sort of thing. You know, that they're guided by, or that they're immersed in tactics and new shiny toys, and they're trying all these ways to broadcast, because I think by taking those sort of actions, they feel like they're doing something and achieving something, but really it's more about, hey, what's your point of difference? And most of them lack it, so they're not going to cut through into today's marketplace.
That is so true. So I know you've got a solution for your clients. So what is your idea? What is your solution to really empower business people to cut through and find that point of difference?
Well, it's all about brand strategy or strategic planning. Everyone talks about it in different ways, but it's about stopping the tactics, stepping back, and working through a process where you define your point of difference and your strategic approach to the market. So most people will have a marketing plan. They'll probably have a business plan. At least they'll be thinking in those terms, and people will be telling them to do that. But no one says to businesses, what about a strategic plan? Now, if you were going to fight in the war, and you were trying to take over a country, you would have a very cunning plan, right? You'd probably think, all right, maybe we'll go north in the winter, go up through Russia, and come down through Poland when the snow's falling, because they won't expect us to do that. And you'd win the war, you'd surprise them. And I see business as a bit of a battle today. It's like a war. So you have to think outside the box and think strategically. So I've created this process where I take people actually through the steps to build that strategic approach to the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely. And, we did cover this, and you've got an interactive eTool that empowers people to do that as well, which is the world's only eTool. Is that correct? Yeah.
So think of it as a e-course on steroids. Because it's quite a complex subject, we've built a lot of examples and case studies in there, as well as designed brainstorming tools to help people get through the process. And we can assist them via Zoom and with coaching support. But the feedback's been pretty incredible in that we don't want businesses to go and buy a strategic plan off some strategic marketer. We want them to build it themselves and own it. So the plan is coming out of their, who they really are and where they really want to take the business. So it's been designed to sort of draw it out of the business owner. So it doesn't become a document in the bottom of a drawer that doesn't get looked at. It's more a commitment that the business owner makes when they go through the process, when they see how incredible, how they could change their business and make it so much bigger and better by thinking strategically. It challenges them to up things in their business, to differentiate and innovate and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Wow. And have you got some research or some case studies to really help explain why is it that you have to have a meaningful brand in order to make that point of difference and get that cut through?
Well, the main statistic I found was, you see it all over the internet, 60, 70, 80% of businesses close or die within the first 2, 3, 4 years, depending what country you're in and where the stats come from. But they're quite incredible how many businesses struggle and end up failing. And I looked into it, and the main reason most businesses fail is lack of finance. They can't keep feeding it into the business until they, get over that first hurdle and become profitable. So, and I couldn't do anything about that. I'm not about to finance everyone's business. But the second reason most businesses fail is lack of strategic planning. And this comes, from a lot of banks and other sort of sources I've found. And basically, strategic planning is misunderstood. Everyone thinks it's for the big boys, the big brands. And sure, the big brands are the ones that utilise strategic planning. That's why they get to where they are, because they can afford to employ a strategic planner in their business. But I sort of thought, no, what if I could demystify it, simplify it, democratise it, so more businesses could start to think this way and do it themselves, because it's certainly becoming a DIY world. We've got all the tools out there to build a business. What's missing is the strategy. So I'm trying to fill that gap.
Awesome. And that's a really good segue into my next question. So what will be the top 3 things that you will be covering in your keynote on Find Your Point of Difference and Start Building a Meaningful Brand that people can really walk away with?
Well, there's going to be one simple concept that we've sort of alluded to, that's holding most businesses back. And it's literally 2 words, and the penny will drop then. I'm going to talk through my 7 steps that are in my process, go right into them, show you examples of the exact 7 steps that make up a brand strategy or strategic approach to the market, and how to shift your thinking more from running a business, I'm going into work to run my business, or to, hey, I can see a bigger, brighter future here. I've got a plan to get there and get more excited about the potential in your business, because I don't think there's any shortcuts anymore. You can't buy influence anymore out there in the marketplace, putting money into Facebook ads or whatever. People ignore all that. So you've got to have this other way of thinking, and that's what I'm going to show you.
Great. So 7-step process and a way to change your mindset in order to be able to really have that differentiation in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And it's all about your brand.
Yeah, it's all about growing an influential brand, and but underlying that is point of difference. If you want to really simplify it, it's about finding your point of difference, which is sort of where it all started for me.
And I think you've kind of answered my next question. My next question would be, what is one specific tip that you could give to our listeners or our audience today that will really empower them to build that meaningful brand?
Well, maybe one challenging question. I just believe everyone's trying to market themselves out there. Everyone's trying to build a better website and attract people to it. Now, you rely on going to a web designer or a marketer and on their expertise. And I believe that the marketing or the website or the promotions that anyone can make for you is heavily influenced by the material you give them. So the brand has to provide the inspiration for a marketer or a designer to create something fantastic. So if you're just same, your marketing or your website's going to look same. So, you know, it goes back to you. It's the onus of the business owner to provide the inspiration to get a better result. And that's what I'm going to be hammering home.
That's great. It's the onus of the business owner to provide the inspiration and get the desired result. That's great. That's tweetable. Yeah. that's tweetable. Thanks, Peter. So look, we've learned a bit about your business, but what I'd love to know is a bit more about who you are, because people love to know about people, and we're not just our businesses. So I'd love to ask you, if you could go anywhere in the world, what would be your ideal holiday destination?
It'd be a yoga retreat in Mexico.
Wow, that's so specific. Have you been to a yoga retreat in Mexico before?
No. That's my next plan. That's my next plan.
That sounds amazing. And that probably answers a little bit of the next question. What do you do to recharge, to really get back to the source and live to fight another day?
Two things. I walk the dogs every morning, and that's a lot of thinking time and a lot of listening to podcasts and all of that, just, you know, on 1.5 speed, so I get through them faster, because there's so much content out there. It's nuts. So I'm forever learning. And the other one is, ironically, it's yoga. I go to yoga 6-7 days a week, and it's Shavasana in the end. When we lie down and we're meant to be meditating, my mind's just going at 100 miles an hour. I'm just solving problems. I'm thinking up positioning statements for clients. I'm dreaming up brand promises, and I just can't stop. But it's getting away and having away from the house and the computer. Like, I don't know if you notice it, but it's easier to work in a coffee shop than it is at home. I concentrate better in a coffee shop with a computer. I don't know why. So getting out of the house, I think that's the key.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes I will just remove myself from everything that's in my close proximity in the office or at home, so that I don't have anything else to think about but what I'm doing. And I think that's probably what makes it key to getting away to a coffee shop and doing a bit of work outside of your normal surroundings, which is awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. We've just had Peter Englehardt, who will be speaking at the Holistic Business Hub's first birthday party. His session is on Tuesday morning, the 26th of March, and the session starts at 9 a.m. He'll be speaking with 2 other incredible presenters, so we really hope to see you there.